And now we can start the conversation. So let's introduce ourselves first, okay? I'm Gabriel. I'm 21 years old. I live in São Paulo, and I work in the payroll department of a company as an apprentice. What about you, Average?
I'm Herbert. I'm 36 years old. I'm from São Paulo. I live in São Paulo. And at the moment, I work in a consultant company in financial administrative department. And I work during the week, and at the on the weekend, I do a course, the business course that talks about the business area. So I learn a little bit of if it's topic of marketing, financial strategy, and 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 during on a Saturday that I study. That's it about me.
That's great. Good luck on your course, Average. I think this is a good course. I love administration, especially human resources, which is my area. What about you, Jefferson?
Good evening, guys. I'm Jefferson. I'm living in Goiânia, Goiás, the most beautiful city of Brazil, because I live here. I can't my age away because I'm economist. I'm professor of Catholic University of Goiás. In like Herbert Toyota, I I work business plan too. I'm a business consultant. I'm doing consultants in economics, like valuation, something like this. And it's a pleasure to be here with you.
That's great, Jefferson. It's a pleasure to see you here again on my meeting. What about you, Mateus?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mateus. I live in Curitiba. Uh, I am 27 years old. I live with my girlfriend and two cats, and I am a software developer, specifically a mobile applications developer. And that's it.
That's great. So, guys, let's start the conversation. Okay. So, the first question is, what's the importance of culture for you? What do you think about yours? So, Mateus, can you answer this question first?
Of course. Um, the importance of culture, I think that it gives kind of a starting point on things we do every day, like the things we eat, the way we dress, the way we talk, the things we do or on our free time. I think, and as I said, it's a starting point because as you grow, as you get to know other cultures, you begin to bring things from other cultures to your own daily life. But it's important that everyone has the culture of the place where you grow or where you born, and I think it's very important to share uh, aspects of your culture and to absorb aspects of another people's culture. And I think I like my my culture. The second part of the question. Uh, I don't know. I think I like it, but I think it's also important to not be like uh, it's important to be open to other cultures too.
Yeah, it's really important. Yeah, as you said, it's really cool like to get to know other cultures, right? Because when we know other cultures, we have a different point of view of
Yes,
some aspects in our daily life, right?
yes,
I've never been to another country, but if I've been to, I don't know, if I went to the United States someday, I think I would like get some culture aspects from them, you know. This is
yes.
really interesting. What about you, Jefferson? Do you agree with Mateus, or do you have a different point of view of this question?
I agree in parts. In part, I think culture it's very important because you can see a lot of things different in your country. Are you listening? Yeah, yeah. It's okay.
Yeah,
The sound. Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm go ahead. As I told or as I said, the culture I think it's very important. If you think about Brazil, it's very different. The culture from a guy from Central East, Southeast, North, and Northeast. Everything is so different because we live. Unfortunately, we have the same language. We have different kind of culture because the way of life, the lifestyle, the customs, the traditions, everything is so different. And I think it's very good because you can think the same way. I love when I see a different guy. When you go abroad, for example, I have been in some countries. We have a lot of curiosity. For example, you go to Qatar, to China, or United States, or other country. Everything is very different. The language, the way of life, the way to shake to shake the hand, to hug, to kiss, and music and the arts. Everything is so different. So for me, it's very important to pay attention and to respect the culture of everyone. That's it.
Yeah, it's really important to respect the culture of everyone because even though we don't agree with someone's culture, we need to respect it because that person was born in another place, and this person is used to do some things that we don't do, so we need to respect it. It's really important. And about what do you about like many different cultures in our own country. Yeah, we have different cultures in our own country, and this is really interesting. So culture is the way that people dress, the like foods that people eat, and there's another aspect, interesting aspect of it as well. So the words are different as well, right? So in São Paulo, we have a word which is abóbora, and in another state is macaxeira, something like that. I don't know exactly, but it's something like that, and this is really interesting.
I think it's
Macaxeira is mandioca, it's not
mandioca.
abóbora.
Yeah,
You have
mandioca.
aipim, macaxeira e mandioca.
I think
Aipim, macaxeira e mandioca.
Yeah, you're right. What about you, Everett? Everett, do you agree with us about the culture, or do you have a different opinion about it?
The importance of culture.
Yeah.
The culture is very important. Very, because every city, every country has its own cultures, the costumes, the values, the way of the vestments, of the way of how they related people, food. So it's very important. So because we deal with different type of people, and we can know about different ways of the people, how they live, how they how they relate with other people, culture, curiosities about country of the person. So it's very important, and be respectful with the culture of the other people.
Yeah. So culture is really important. And as I said, we need to respect other people's culture. Okay. So guys, let's go to the question number 8. Do you think people have a specific way of acting in every country in the world? In your opinion, what country do people act in a way that is extremely different to other countries in? Why? So, Albert, can you answer this question first?
Let me think. The what's question? Sorry.
Question number 8.
Think. I think so. They are difference in each country, because each country has own cultures and own laws. So I think people act different. For example, maybe Asian country, you need to probably you act different. I think you need to should be act different, because, for example, Japan, and you need to be rigorous with um to trash trash out the foods, for example, the garbage on the trash on trash is simple act, but it's very important, because if you uh how can I say jogar lixo no chão? Play, I don't
Well, I think you can say throw things away
throw
on the floor.
throw throws all the way on the floor, so it can be complicated. So for example, try to go to Japan or Korea, think you need to be very careful with your actions, and another other countries too. So you need to act different for the reasons.
Yeah, Albert. I think like countries from Asia um has have a different culture if you compare to ours, right? Because like Brazilians are really different to these people from these countries, you know.
Yeah.
What about you, Mateus? Albert, what do you want to say something more?
No.
Okay. What about you, Mateus? So do you agree with Albert about Asian people? Or
Yes,
do you have a different example of it?
I agree. I think that it comes down to, I think one of the greatest differences it's between Occident and Orient, uh, East and West, because I think it's very different cultural roots. I think the history of the West and the history of the East, it's they have very different cultural roots. So countries in Asia are very different from countries in the Americas. I think that one of the factors that may influence this is the religious factor and philosophic, of course. I think that here in the West we have uh, a Christian root in our cultures. I think that we have a lot of we've had a lot of colonization in the countries, not just here, but I think that it's interesting to observe this great difference between East and West, or Orient and I, I think Orient and Occident. I don't know if this is correct, but uh, I think you guys understood.
Yeah. So, like religions can impact the culture of a country as well. I agree with you. So, for example, as far as I know, in Brazil, we accept that people who are homosexual get married, but some other countries don't accept it. I think it's because of the religion,
Yes, because I think that it ends all the culture ends being influenced in laws, in lawmaking, in it, I think that this is very, if you look to countries from Middle East, like Egypt, I, I think Egypt is Africa actually, but those countries, I think a lot of their laws are influenced by their religion, and I think it is the case of most countries.
Yeah. What about you, Jefferson? Do you agree with Mateus about that religions impact a culture, or do you have a different point of view of it?
I don't agree with you because about sexuality, you have this kind of thing even in Russia. It's impossible a gay to marriage. It's impossible. But maybe in Saudi Arabia or other country from West, maybe about religion, but it's not just about religion. It's a prejudice about the society. It's everything is so different. But to compare, as Mateus and Herbert, they talk about the West and East. It's very interesting, because I remember I have been in China, I have been in Shanghai, Guangzhou. It's very interesting. Even in Hong Kong, everything is so different. The custom, the laws, the way to dress, the architectural style, the social standards and traditions. Everything is so different. Everything is so different. The food. Even the food of Japan, it's better than the China. I think it's not so good. And it's impossible to eat a lot of things from China, from Japan. It's possible. I think it's better. So it's very interesting, because what I saw in, for example, in Shanghai and Hong Kong, that I draw very attention. They are copying a lot of customs, a lot of foods from the East, like to drink Coca-Cola, to drink beer, Pizza Hut, KFC, and other kinds of McDonald's. McDonald's now they are eating all of this kind of West, and even in Shanghai, in Hong Kong, the buildings. If you see the tower of Shanghai, is the same tower of Toronto, is the same tower of Frankfurt or Berlin, the same tower. They are copying. So we have a big problem about the culture now. I really don't know what is the culture, the customs of West and East. And that drew very attention about this. I think, I don't know if it's good or not. Even the guys like Gabriel that I saw in Hong Kong and Shanghai listen music and dance like an American guy, like a guy from London. The same way, oh, come on, guy. It's so different. So I think there is I think with the English language, you have a socialization of the culture in the world. And the better the standards today, unfortunately, is from the United States. Is the English, everything in English.
Yeah, I liked what you said. I agree with you. Yeah, like so countries that are situated in the east and countries that are situated in the west, the culture is really different. And about what you said, that like Hong Kong is like has been like copying some things from other cultures. I I've never heard of it. And my point of view of it is you can like do something kind of similar to something from another country, you know, but not like the same thing, you know. So for example, if you wanna make a beefy Wellington, which is a United States food, in a different way, you can do it in a different way. And there are some dishes, there are some beefy Wellingtons that are different to the traditional beefy Wellington from the United States. But I think it's not good when you do the same thing, when you make the same thing. So if someone makes a beefy Wellington, if someone from Hong Kong makes a beefy Wellington in the same way that the United States makes, for example, this is not good because they're copying the food, you know. So this is just an example.
Actually, to add something to what you say, Gabriel, here in Brazil, I think we are experts in creating our own versions of foods. We have our own pizza or own hot dog, or I think that we are really good into absorbing other, especially foods.
And just to add something, I remember in Shanghai, in Guangzhou, on Saturdays, on Saturdays, a long queue or a long line of Chinese waiting 1 hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours to eat a Pizza Hut in a shopping center. I never imagined this situation. I never imagined this situation. Pizza Hut, KFC, and sometimes McDonald's, especially on Saturdays or on Saturdays.
I've never heard of it as well. And about what I said, I don't know if you guys watch the TV show MasterChef Brazil. Do you guys watch it? No? In MasterChef Brazil, sometimes participants need to make a dish. So, for example, a beef Wellington. So sometimes there are some challenges that they need to make a food from another country in a Brazilian way, you know, or in a different way. And I think this is really interesting because you can make something different based on something that already exists, you know. What do you guys think about it? What do you guys think about it?
Start about good point. Like the master
About the
chef.
adaptation of
Yeah.
the food.
Yeah.
It's very common because you have a lot of ingredients. That ingredients are very different from country to country. Sometimes you can eat, for example, the same hamburger, or spice or not spice. So we need to adapt this kind of thing. And I think the same way of about beef, you can eat the one way or the other way. And even, for example, beer, it's different. The Brazilian beer is very different from the Chinese beer. It's different for the American beer. The pattern, the standards are very different because the Brazilian taste is very different. So you need to adapt the food or the drink that you're gonna to drink or to eat in each country, in every country.
Yeah. So guys, let's go to the question number 9. If you had to choose one thing from another country to be part of yours, to be part of your country, your culture, what would it be? Why? So Jefferson, what would it be?
I think the first think about Brazil to respect the law and to respect the bylaw too. I think it's very important because we need to respect this. Unfortunately, we have very good laws and bylaws in Brazil, but it's not respected by the people. I think this is the most important thing now.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's really important. In Brazil, some people don't respect the rules. And I think if we had if we like followed if people followed the rules like properly in Brazil, we want to have some problems here, you know. So if we had like a government that made people to respect the rules, our country would be better, right? What about
just
you?
just to add something, for me now here, a terrible situation that we spent 2 weeks ago about these guys with the big trucks. It's impossible to see. You must have freedom to go and back. Go and back. I think this is not the right thing. They can't respect the law. They can't respect the law. It's not so good for our society. Not respect the guys with injury, the guys that have a schedule, something to do, to travel, or even to eat. Come on, guy. You must have freedom. Unfortunately, these kinds of guys can respect the law.
Yeah. We, as you said, we need, we have to be freedom, and people need to know that if you lose something, if you lost something, you lost it. There's nothing that we can do to like change change this. You lost the match. You can't do anything to not lose the match. You know. So in the future, if you had the opportunity to play another match and win it, it's okay. But people need to respect this. Yeah. What about you, Albert? Do you agree with Jefferson about what he said, or do you have a different opinion about it?
The adaptation, that's
About what he said about the rules in Brazil.
Rules in Brazil. Rules, I think it is are very important in our society. Like rules, I mean laws in this case. Good to have control of some actions of the people. But we are in Brazil. We have a lot of problems. Like people don't follow the rules in many situations, and they're not necessarily a crime, but there are some laws that people don't follow, committing crimes, and they are not punished. So I think the rules are very important to me, but need to be more rigorous.
Yeah. So as I said, rules need to be respected in Brazil. And what about you, Mateus? So question number 9. If you had to choose one thing from another country to be part of yours, what would it be? Why? Would it be the rules, or would it be another thing for you?
Oh, I think that I agree with the Jefferson's point about the rules. I think not just the rules, but I think that I would impart the respect, not just to follow the rules, but to respect each other. Uh, Simple things like respecting the space of another person, and to be, I think, to be respectful. But another thing that I would like, I think this actually happens naturally, but uh, I like music from a lot of countries, and I think that I would like to see music from Africa and music uh, from Japan, from China, more here in Brazil. I think that uh, from I one music genre I like a lot is cumbia from uh, Caribbean cumbia, Cuban cumbia, and I think that although this happens naturally, we always listen from music from other countries. I think that would be nicer to see more music from other countries here.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Once, I've listened to a Pokemon song, a Pokemon song, a Pokemon song, and the Japan version, and I loved the song, the
Uh,
rhythm is really different to the rhythms of the songs of Brazil.
yes, actually, it's kind of hard today to separate what kinds of music it's part of my culture and what kinds of music that I listen that are not. I think that I like to think that everything that I listen it's forms me as a person or as a it's added to my culture.
Yeah. So guys, let's go to the last question of today, okay? So it's the question number 3. If you had the opportunity to get to know a new culture, what would it be? Why? So what would it be, Mateus?
I am very curious about China. Uh, uh, I'm kind of envy of Jefferson that went to China, and I think that it's it's so like we said, it's a culture so different than ours that it brings me a lot of curiosity. I would like to go there to I would like to learn Mandarin and to know more about the culture, to know more people from there. I think that it's very interesting.
That's great. Yeah, I think China has an interesting culture. So what about you, Jefferson? What country would it be?
I really don't know because I know a lot of countries. I remember now Japan, China, Hong Kong, Amsterdam, London, etc., etc. But I'm thinking now, maybe now, an opportunity, the culture of Latin America. Latin America, I think is the culture of Latin America. I know Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile, and I wanted to know the culture of Colombia, different things from Colombia, maybe in the future. About Cuba, I love Cuba, the music, the dance, the food, something like this. Maybe the culture of Panama and the culture of Mexico. Mexico. I think it's something very similar with the Brazilian culture. Eh? I think it's very important to know. It's a big opportunity to know more, to know better these neighbor countries from Brazil to understand this guy. Because the other countries for me, it's nothing is new for me because I know some countries I think it's very interesting, the other I really don't like, but I think it's a good opportunity. And just to finish the culture of Brazil, I think we need to know more about the Brazil, the culture of Piauí, Maranhão, Amazonas, the culture of Rio Grande do Sul, because unfortunately we only know the culture from São Paulo. Everything is São Paulo, São Paulo, São Paulo, and Rio de Janeiro. And Brazil is not just São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. You have a lot of different cultures that you need to know.
Yeah, there are like many cultures in Brazil that people don't know, and we need to know these cultures. And what about you, Ebert? What country would it be?
I I don't know. I would like to visit countries of Europe, but I don't know how I would be. Maybe I don't know to answer this question. I don't know. Because there are many options. Many options.
I get it. I think if it was me, I think I would like to get to know. Actually, I want to go to the United States someday, so I want to get to know the United States. Okay, so people from the other room came back to the main room, so I want to know, how was the conversation, Fabiana?
Well, the conversation was really, really nice. Artur and Eder was so friendly, and we talk a lot. Not about just the topic, but the life and other things was really, really nice.
That's great to know, Fabiana. So come back here more times, okay? It'll be a pleasure to see you here on my media again. And it'll be a pleasure to see you on other hosts meetings as well. So what about you, Eder? How was the conversation? Eder, you're muted.
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It was a great conversation. Like Fabiana said, it was grateful people. And we talk about many things and about the culture, about the cultures we have about in another cities we have been, and Fabiana have been in another countries, but I didn't yet, and I haven't yet. I was talking about other states in Brazil. We have many different cultures, and I think the mainly difference is about the food, because in the north we have different foods, in the south, in the south, and I live in Minas Gerais. I have different foods in all of the Brazil, and here in Brazil we have many cultural difference, but I think the main it's the food.
Yeah, it's really interesting. About Minas Gerais, I just know cheese bread, but I think there are other foods from Minas Gerais, right? Not just cheese bread.
Yeah, of course, there are many foods.
And what about you, Artur? How was the conversation?
Oh, the conversation was very great. We talked a lot, and Fabiana shared with us experience of another countries, and it was great. Eder shared with us about foods of another states, and I share with the guys about frog joys. I don't know if you guys know this. If you don't know, you can to search about it. It's so interesting. China's food or Japan food, I don't know exactly. And but it was really great. We talk a lot. It was really fun.
That's great to know, guys. So I hope I see you guys another on my next meetings and other hosts meetings as well. Okay, guys. So now I'm gonna send to you
Yeah.
2 links. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is the link of our survey. Okay. So when you go to this link, you can give us a grade from 0 to 10 so we can improve talk and talk. Okay. So guys, it's really important not just to give us a grade, but explain to us the reason of your grade as well. Okay. So for example, my grade is 9, my grade is 8, but why is there a grade 8, not 10? So explain to us the reason so we can improve talk and talk. Okay. And the second link is the link of our website. Okay. So if you want to have more access to our classes, go to our website and check our plans out. Okay. That's it, guys. This was the conversation. I hope you guys liked it, and see you guys next time. Okay. Bye.
See ya. Take care.
Bye. See you.
Bye bye.